Beamy Jordan, 28, senior ride operator at mid-size amusement park called Skyline Kingdom just off highway. Place is screaming kids, cheap fog machines, 3 coasters, fried dough smell baked into concrete, radios never shut up. Main baby is Solar Vortex, new looping coaster corporate brags about in every commercial, feel the sky flip you. Daily life is harness checks, height sticks, yelling doors closing until voice dies, watching for that one kid who lies. Crew mostly seasonal college kids, couple lifer operators like me, some maintenance guys who speak fluent cursed metal. Old HR guy Dave cared about 2 things: payroll and not getting sued if someone puked on stairs then slipped. Rules simple: don't flirt with guests, don't be drunk, never dispatch train if your gut says, nah man, not safe. State inspectors liked us. Manufacturer rep smiled when he visited. We ran drills, logged everything, felt professional despite the cartoon mascots. Summer starts strong, TikTok kids posting selfies on Vortex, lines insane, but throughput good, nobody hurt, managers actually chill. One Wednesday email from corporate lands, subject line, welcoming our new director of guest experience and safety culture. Whenever culture appears in title, odds of new lanyard pins and weird rules jump like coaster on first drop. Mandatory all hands scheduled in picnic pavilion behind cotton candy stall. Folding chairs, warm soda, screen balancing on trash can. Jem walks up with woman early 30s, crisp blazer over sneakers, haircut like she fired 3 stylists already this year. Lanyard pins screaming, believe women, no more creep checks, and tiny roller coaster car with heart around female symbol. GM introduces her as Brianna Cole, background in gender-safe nightlife, consultant for bars and music festivals, now hours full-time. Brianna thanks him with calm podcast voice, scans male heavy ride ops row like she's counting future problems. Starts talking about horror stories, drunk security guys, checking women too long, ride attendants flirting, phones full of DMs from creeps, shows slides from other venues, headlines about groping in lines, guards posing with crying girls like trophies. It's gross and real. Says Skyline Kingdom will be first no-creep park in the region, a place where girls can scream without being scanned. Announces Project Safe Thrills, 3 phases, promises press pieces, awards, maybe partnership with some feminist soda brand or something. We clap because paycheck and pizza, some women on staff look genuinely relieved. Few dudes shift in seats, me somewhere between. Following week pamphlets appear in break room, teal and purple, title Project Safe Thrills, Phase 1, Eyes on Track. New rule, male operators must minimize lingering visual focus on female guests' bodies, especially chest and legs. Documentation says we should scan environment, not anatomy. Look at rows as units, not people. Avoid targeted gaze. Also adds comfort lane at Solar Vortex, front half of platform labeled for women and non-men only during busy hours. Women ride ops become comfort attendants. Purple vests, responsible for restraint checks on that lane. Men supposed to stand farther back. Basically, half of our busiest train now reserved for female staff we barely have, while rest of us hover at yellow tape. I point out staffing chart, only 5 women in rides, 2 only trained on kiddie carousel, 1 terrified of heights. Brianna smiles like patient therapist and says, we'll aggressively recruit women. Until then, we'll schedule creatively. Corporate for good luck boys. Phase 1. Weekend feels clumsy but survivable. We lean over rows, counting lap bars, while trying not to linger anywhere soft. Front lane lines clogged because TikTok girls want girls only car. Male guests grumble. Some laugh. Some stomp to another coaster. Few women sincerely thank Brianna, tell us they feel less stared at near harness checks, hard to argue their lived experience. Phase 2. Email arrives midweek. Subject line, hands without harm, redesigning restraint checks. Inside memo bans male staff from initiating physical contact with solo female riders, except during clearly life-threatening situations. We must use visual checks and verbal confirmation first. Ask women to tug their own bars, press on armrests instead of hips. If something looks off but guest insists they're fine, we are supposed to honor bodily autonomy and avoid public body shaming. Previous training said, if bar doesn't lock or belt doesn't click, they don't ride, no arguments, end of story. Now, guidance says, find another joyful option if they feel excluded, like merry-go-round is emotional consolation prize for physics. First test comes Friday, busy afternoon, woman in plus-size sundress wants front row, lap bar clicks one notch, still way too high. I push gently, bar hits stomach before hips, big gap, my brain screams absolutely not. Manual literally says, no more than 2 fingers. Tell her politely this seat won't secure properly. Offer middle row with different style harness. She gets red, crowd listening. Friend yells, wow, fat shaming much? Phones appear. Someone mutters, this is why women hate rides. Brianna nearby, watching like hawk. I repeat calmly, it's safety. Same rule for everyone. Start to wave supervisor over. Woman turns to Brianna, shouting, is this allowed? Brianna steps in, says, maybe try gentle check instead of declaring her body wrong for the ride. Voice coated in honey and knives. Under that gaze, I do gentle check. Bar doesn't budge, still bad, but now woman insisting it's fine, says, I ride stuff bigger than this. Line restless, sun-frying neck. Manager whispers, just log it and send train. We'll get complaints if we keep denying. Against everything, day 1 training burned into spine. I dispatch with note on sheet. Watch car go uphill, heart in mouth. Nothing happens that run or next, just my stomach hollowing out, imagining alternate timelines where it did. Phase 3 arrives 2 weeks later. Title, Princess Hour, Reclaiming Thrills for Girls. Marketing loves it. Full campaign about designated evening blocks where girls, femmes, and non-men get priority on headliner rides. Fine, we already handle birthday groups and grad nights. Themed slots are whatever. Problem is operational fine print underneath. During princess hours, only comfort attendants may stand on load platform directly next to cars in designated lane. Male staff push to back rail, new yellow line drawn. We become support observers, radio and e-stop fingers, but no hands. Memo literally says, male operators should avoid looming over women adjusting restraints, especially during girl-centered events. So picture busiest time. Park blasted on TikTok. Girls traveling hours for cute outfits and shaky videos, while half our trained crew benched. Company lands huge fish right then. Collab with beauty brand Luminelle Glow. They sponsor Princess Hour weekend. Bring influencer squad. Massive banner over entrance. Luminelle X Skyline. Confetti graphics. Marketing director walking around like he invented electricity. Centerpiece is Nova Hale, giant beauty YouTuber who does makeup while ranting about dating. brings millions of fans everywhere. She's bringing kid sister Ivy, 14, shy smile on posters. Contest winners get to ride Solar Vortex with them front row. Brianna, ecstatic, says this is perfect opportunity to show world how a truly girl-safe thrill space looks in practice. Insists every press shot feature women operators only. Wants comfort attendants in view when Nova films first ride for channel. We have exactly 3 women certified on Vortex platform by then. 1 on vacation, leaving Jess and Marina, both solid but human. Brianna also decides to cross-train 2 women from retail to help, gives them 30 minutes of crash course on checking bars. Any ride operator knows it takes dozens of cycles to learn where bars stick, which belts fake click, how nervous people lie. Princess Hour Friday hits, line wrapped into parking lot, glitter everywhere, little crowns, dads carrying purses with dead eyes. Radio nonstop, Nova's car arriving, influencer team backstage. Brand reps want slow dispatch for filming, but not too slow. Press gathers around Vortex platform. Ring lights, microphones, everything. Luminel logo slapped on coaster nose like NASCAR. Nova arrives waving, Ivy quieter behind her clutching hoodie. Contest winners shaking so hard, bracelets jingle like wind chimes. They load first train, whole thing girl lane, all front cars filled with her crew and winners, phones recording from every angle. Jess and Marina working platform, retail cross trainees stuck mid-row looking lost, me and 3 dudes behind yellow line, hands itching. We've run maybe 6 cycles already, everything slow but safe, extra loud checks, double clacks, me balancing don't stare with please don't die. This time, chaos lives in tiny detail. Ivy sits end seat, slides belt on, lap bar comes down, dress bunched funny at hip. Cross trainee leans in, taps bar like she's patting couch, says, "You good, sweetheart?" Ivy nods because whole internet watchin'. From back rail my angle weird, but bar looks 1 click higher than others. Small gap, not huge, but enough my ribs tighten. Music booming, cameras pushing closer, brand rep mouthing, let's go," at us, clock ticking until dispatch. I call out, row 2, check again. Voice fighting over pop bass and shrieks. Trainee glances back, half hears, half shrugs. She says, "She said she's fine, Jordan, let them ride." Tone defensive, like I'm ruining empowerment moment critiquing another woman's work. Nova shouts, "We ready, girls?" Crowd screams, phones up. Brianna, grinning near stairs, sees my face, frowns, shakes head slightly. That micro shake reads as, "Don't embarrass us, don't challenge women on camera, don't ruin campaign tagline over paranoia." I stare at Ivy's bar, brain replaying plus-size lady earlier, manuals, manufacturer rep, saying, "These restraints are unforgiving if misused." Controller panel under my hand, big green dispatch button glowing like temptation, red e-stop looming off to side like nuclear option. I hesitate second too long, Nova shouts, "Dispatch." Again, playfully, crowd chanting, Jess gives final thumbs up, looks more at cameras than hinges. Finger tap taps, muscle memory wins wrong race, I hit green, train hums, lap bars, autolock sequence engages, gates swing shut. Car rolls forward, slow toward hill chain. My heart immediately regrets, sees Ivy adjust shoulders, belt tug slightly against bunching fabric. 2 seconds later, train hits first incline. Clack, clack, clack. Riders throw hands. Ivy's don't go as high, one hand gripping bar tight. Control panel screen shows restraint sensors all green. System thinks everything fine. Safety logic binary, reality more analog. About third clack up tower. Ivy shifts again. Bar jerks half centimeter. Still locked, but she slides sideways a hair too far. Her eyes widen, not full terror yet, but seed planted. My stomach free falls while body still on platform. I slam hand sideways on red e-stop. Instinct louder than optics finally. System screams, chain halts, train freezes awkwardly mid-incline. Music cuts, lights flip to ugly work mode, crowd gasps, brand rep swears, Nova yells, "What happened?" from stuck car. Per union rules, we can climb catwalk only if train fully stopped. It is now. Maintenance already sprinting with harnesses and radios. I grab spare safety belt, follow lead tech up narrow stairs. Heart beating pattern like bad EDM remix. We reach Ivy's row. She's breathing fast. Says, "I feel like I'm sliding. I couldn't push the bar down more." Tech tests restraint, still locked, but confirms gap borderline. Says another few clicks would be ideal. Fabric clearly twisted under bar. We secure additional belt, slowly walk them back down via evacuation route. Entire process filmed by 5,000 bored teenagers on ground. 15 minutes later, everyone safe on platform. Ivy shaking but unhurt. Nova hugging her, whispering furious things I can't hear over adrenaline. Luminel rep pulls Brianna aside immediately, face like lawsuit with lipstick, points to my e-stop, to trainee, to yellow line. Rest of shift blur of refunds, free drink vouchers, one PR statement about technical precaution stop. Me not thrown under bus yet. Next morning, conference room feels like morgue with posters, long table, bottled water, brand logo on display screen like accusing eye. Attendees, Park GM, Brianna, me, maintenance chief, manufacturer rep on Zoom, plus state ride inspector, brought in early thanks to rumor mill. They roll platform camera footage, multiple angles, rewound frame where trainee taps Ivy's bar, my shout, Brianna's tiny head shake. Inspector asks what training cross staff got, what standard checklist is, why we allowed new hire to sign off front row on flagship. Maintenance guy explains restraint tolerances, shows graph of forces, says, system didn't fail, humans did, but at least e-stop worked. Manufacturer rep, visibly annoyed, says they never approved gender-segmented operation. Design assumes full crew anywhere along platform. State guy flips through printed Project Safe Thrills manual, eyebrows crawling higher each page, reads lines about no male looming during girl events. Asks calmly, where in ride safety code does it say you may restrict trained staff from checking restraints based on gender? Answer is nowhere, of course. Guidelines live only in Brianna's binder and marketing deck, not in law, not in engineering docs. I'm asked to walk them through moment from my perspective, why I hesitated, why I hit green, then red, feel throat sandpaper. Explain previous write-ups about overchecking women, quote bits from training about trust their word if they insist they're secure. Mention look I got when asking to recheck, how saying no on camera felt like pushing someone off stage, not saving them from it. Brianna jumps in, says, I always had discretion in emergencies, claims her wording never meant ignore your gut to protect feelings. Inspector rewinds training clip she filmed, plays part where she says, under no circumstances should male staff override women's comfort on restraints in public. Room goes extinct quiet, only sound projector fan and someone's nervous pen clicking like Geiger counter near bad idea. Luminel rep says their legal team already drafting letter mentions words brand risk and unsafe launch partnership with smile that isn't smile. State inspector notes he could shut Vortex until full policy review. Hint, heavy as lead apron, GM sweating through company polo. End of meeting, he straight up says, "You built optics on top of safety. If kid died here yesterday, I'd shut park indefinitely." Afternoon internal memo appears, no emojis. Subject, immediate suspension of project, Safe Thrills operational components. Bin of purple vests appears in break room with sticky note. Return by end of day. Yellow tape quietly peeled from platform edge. Old restraint training slides reissued. Bold red text. If bar doesn't meet spec, they do not ride, no exceptions. Week later, second memo. Leadership change in guest experience department. Standard line, thanking Brianna for passion and wishing her well elsewhere. No goodbye party, no cupcakes, just maintenance guys unscrewing Safe Thrills vinyl from walls and tossing stack of manuals into recycling bin. I keep job, get talking to about following procedure over vibes, but inspector also thanks me privately for hitting red instead of playing hero. Says, you listened too late, but you still listened. Plenty don't. Which sits in my chest like brick and bandage together. Over rest of Summer Park, slowly forgets hashtags, remembers physics, hires more women based on how fast they can clamp harnesses, not just smiles. We still kick out creeps, still watch where eyes go, but nobody tells us not to stare at seat belts like our lives depend on it. Few months later on couch, after long day, scrolling phone, see LinkedIn article shared by some HR guru friend from college. Headline reads, I was fired for making theme parks safer for girls, the price of challenging male gatekeepers. Author photo, obviously Brianna. Same blazer, softer lighting, mug saying, nevertheless, she persisted in big, empowering font. She describes Skyline as boy club of ride jocks, claims her project drastically reduced harassment before old guard sabotaged progress. No mention of Ivy halfway up a hill, feeling herself slide under cute branding. No mention of inspector, manufacturer, or red X lines on platform. Close tab, open anonymous board in another window. Find thread about woke theme parks nearly killing influencers. Fingers hover over reply button. Type, be me, ride guy who watched HR try to save feelings more than bodies on a looping coaster. Add, turns out gravity doesn't care about your optics deck. Stare at screen, hit post, hope at least one manager somewhere reads it before printing new stickers.